Good evening. Would you stand for the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks to the veterans and their families. Greatly appreciated. Okay. This evening is a voting session. So first on the agenda is the Axon Enterprise Agreement. This is to approve the mayor to sign an updated agreement with Axon Enterprises, Inc. for Police Department body cam 60 months beginning August 1st, 2022, ending July 31st, 2027. The cost is approximately $10,076.50 per year per the agreement. Everyone should have had an opportunity to review this, so I'm asking for a motion.
Motion to approve for the maximum of $10,076.50 per year. I'll second.
Okay, I have a first, a second. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Moving on to item 2, the City of Statham personnel policy change. This has to do with the leave type. This would approve a change to the city's employee benefits. The leave type in the personnel policy handbook, page 74 to 78, and implement a new page, paid time off, or PTO, accrual system, and cancel the current vacation time and sick time policy. This new policy will go into effect January 1, 2023 to minimize any conversion loss from the former vacation policy to the PTO policy. Balances in excess of new longevity cap on the to retain the excess amount and unused or use down this excess through June 30th, 2023. On July 1, 2023, any excess employees will accrue sick leave hours between a minimum of 96 and a maximum of 144 hours, may convert their unused sick hours into PTO hours on to retain any excess amount and use down this excess time through June 30th, 2023. On July 1, 2023, all excess converted sick time will be paid to the employee. Should an employee terminate their employment for any reason prior to July 1, 2020, excess converted sick time, excluding vacation time, will be forfeited. So, do I have a motion on the table?
Mayor, I'd like to table this and go back and revisit it for our next meeting. I think there's a lot of people have been out, and think we all need to look at this a little bit deeper, and so I'd like to table it for now.
Are we tabling it for the work session on the 4th or the voting session the 16th?
The work session.
Okay, so I have a motion to table this till August 4th work session. Is there? Okay, all those in favor? It's unanimous. Third on the agenda is City of Statham personnel policy change. This has to do with the pay period. This would approve a change to the city's pay system and the personnel policy handbook on page 66 to 69, and implement a new pay period for all city employees to be paid on a bi-weekly basis. Payroll checks will be processed on Wednesday. When a pay date falls on an official city holiday, employees will be paid paid on the day after the holiday. This new policy will go into effect January 10, 2023. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve. I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay. The motion carries. Next on the agenda is number 4, City of Statham Personnel Policy Change. This has to do with the bereavement leave. To approve a change to the city's bereavement leave policy in the Personnel Policy Handbook on page 78. The new full-time employees shall be eligible for bereavement leave after 90 days of employment. Bereavement leave of up to 3 consecutive workdays shall be granted to an employee in the event of a death in the immediate family. A total of 3 days of paid bereavement leave shall be granted per calendar year. This leave will be paid at the regular employee rate and will not count towards overtime. Bereavement hours that exceed 3 days are unpaid unless PTO is used by the employee. There is no accumulation of bereavement leave and no payment upon separation from city employment. Is there a motion on the table?
Mayor, I'd like to table this too for the next work session to discuss bereavement pay.
Tabled until August the 4th. Is there a second? Okay, all those in favor? It's unanimous. 5th on our agenda is City of Statham Personnel Policy Change. This has to do with holidays. To approve a change to the city's observance of holidays in the Personnel Policy Handbook on page 81, implement a new policy for holidays. The new policy states when the preceding Friday, holiday schedules may be altered by City Council. When Christmas Eve naturally falls on a Sunday, a Monday Christmas Day, or as approved by the City Council. Floating holiday is granted to each city employee each calendar year. Floating holiday must be used as a single 8-hour day, and hours may not be divided between different days. A floating holiday must be used in the calendar year. Days are not paid upon separation from the city. This policy will go into effect January 1, 2023. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, and all in favor? All those opposed? Okay. Ms. Hattie opposed? All right, number 6 is Farrow County Water Purchase Contract Proposal. To discuss a wholesale water purchase agreement. This was discussed at the work session this month. Everyone has a copy. So I will ask for a motion. There was not a copy put in this, because we had it in the work session. The long and the short is it is a 10-year ironclad agreement. They will give us $150,000 per day. It also has in that agreement that if they choose to throttle us back and keep us at $150,000 per day, that is all we would get. So
explore and negotiate with Barrow County, and that this was not ready for final vote in its current form. I may be mistaken, but that was my recollection of the work session.
Okay. I think that's the question I had before the meeting started with the mayor. So,
I believe that if I remember right, and everyone please correct me if I'm wrong, the bullet points, we were gonna try to negotiate a reduced term of 5 years.
So we would, on this, we would need to make a motion just to table it to the next work.
To allow the mayor time to inquire with the water department, Jackson County Water Authority, Barrow County Water Authority, if they can, are willing to.
I will reach out to him again. I did have a conversation with him, and it didn't seem like it was gonna change, but I will definitely, take that back to Barrow County.
If we get
So,
that in writing from the county, if they choose not to go.
do we have a motion then to table this to the August 4th?
I'll make a motion to table.
second.
Okay, all those in favor? It's unanimous. At this time, we have an executive session on the agenda, but, something that just came to light, about 4 o'clock this afternoon. I would ask that we amend the agenda to also include in the executive session discussion on possible litigation.
That's correct.
Do I have a motion to amend? Okay.
Motion.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Okay, unanimous. So, do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Make a motion to go into the executive session.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay. Don't mean to put you on hold, but we will take care of it. Okay, do I have a motion to come out of executive session?
Second.
Okay, with Douglas, and then Scott, and all those in favor? It's unanimous.
The mayor and city council for the city of Statham adjourned into executive session to discuss matters protected from the public by virtue of the Open Meetings Act, specifically to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action, public officer or employee, and also to discuss potential or pending litigation. No votes were taken during the executive session. Copy of the affidavit and resolution will be included with the minutes.
Okay. Next up is I'd like to make an appointment to a new city clerk for the city of Statham, Aisha Ambrose. Hopefully I pronounced that right. It's been long enough that I shouldn't butcher it. I need to.
Yeah, motion to approve.
So do I have a motion to approve my appointment?
Motion to approve.
Okay. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Aisha, welcome on board. Water's fine, come on in. Okay. So at this point, I have a little thing that I'd like Officer Russo to introduce our new officer, Nora, if you would.
Would you like to go ahead and?
Yeah, in the meantime, everyone should have had a copy submitted on July 11th for the work session minutes. Any questions, corrections, or concerns on the minutes? And if not, do I have a motion to approve July 7, 2022 work session minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the, minutes of July 22nd.
Okay. Do I have a second?
July 22nd.
July 7th?
July.
July 7th, I'm sorry.
I took it that he just.
Yeah, I was.
The month
I was thinking
and the year.
Yeah.
That's what he's giving to everybody.
Did you say the 22nd?
Yeah.
Okay, I was, okay.
So,
Yeah, I started looking, it's like, okay, I saw this.
so we have a motion for accept the July 7th, 2022 work session minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Mayor, I understand I was not present, so I don't know if it is reflect.
And all those opposed?
Sorry, I don't have it, so on that vote.
It was,
Your-
it was given to council on July 11th.
Yeah, July 11th, it was made available. So, I have a motion, I have a second. I think I had 3, 2, 4. And you are yea or nay? Okay, so I've got 2 for, 1 abstain, 1 no.
3, 4, 1 abstaining.
Yeah, Scott.
No, and you. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It was 3, 4. Okay.
Yeah, Jeff.
We all. Well, hello, Officer Nora. So,
Just more attention, don't you?
so this is our new K-9, Officer Nora. And Officer Russo, would you,
Yeah.
this is Sergeant Russo, by the way. You want to take it from here?
Yeah, so this is Officer Nora. She's from Holland. She came from Holland on June 1st. I went to Custom K-9 Unlimited up in Holland. She graduated on week before last. She graduated on narcotics, tracking, article searches, and obedience. She's certified in all those. We actually ran a track before the city council meeting. I had an officer lady, I think it was about 2/10 of a mile track, maybe 1/4 mile track, and Mr. Venable went with me. So he got to see her firsthand, and Mr. Venable, actions speak louder than me telling you how good she is.
I can tell you from the moment that Sergeant Riso gave the command, nose was to the ground, never missed a scent. I don't know how old the scent was, but I know that it was at least 25 minutes old because he stopped by the house and then we sat in the car. He went straight to the other officer that was hiding there was no incident.
There was multiple turns, and she hadn't met a single thing. She loves tracking. She's a year old. Spine marks easily, but she's a beast at tracking. Which is gonna be great because missing kids, missing older people, all the way to fleeing suspect. She's just as sweet as she could be. She's just a puppy, but she's a great working dog.
I just want to say for the record, Officer Moore out here is going to be a great asset, but likewise, Sergeant Riso as a handler is going to, I think, perform tremendously with Nora. And I'm glad we have both of you on our team. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
No, I appreciate it. She, honest to God, anybody who wants to come train with me, you guys got my number. Anybody can come to lay a track. It amazes me. Even though I went certified with her and I learned all the scientific reasons on how a dog can track somebody, there's no better feeling in the world when you're running an unknown track and you turn that corner and the person's standing right there. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, she did it. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. It's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. No, she's very friendly too. I know that was the big thing with the city is to get a aggressive dog, and she's not aggressive at all.
If there's anybody in those lockers at those two schools, we're gonna find it.
You're gonna find it. She has a heck of a nose, and she's very easy to read.
Can she sniff out nicotine also, or does that not?
No, it's just,
Yeah, like
I know what you think.
yeah.
She gets the bait.
So here's the thing on that. If you train a dog to find nicotine, you can do that. You can train a dog to find a cell phone. They have cell phone detection dogs. They use those dogs in prisons. If you train a dog to find tobacco, you can't use that dog on the street.
That's true.
Because if the dog alerts on the car and she's trained on tobacco, I just violated somebody's rights by searching that.
Illegal substance.
Yeah, but she's trained on cocaine, methamphetamines, and heroin.
Okay.
And there's certain drugs that fall into that, like ecstasy. Ecstasy is made with methamphetamines. It has a methamphetamine compound to it.
Yeah.
So she'll be able to find that too.
Well,
Yeah.
we certainly appreciate it,
Yeah.
Sergeant.
Money. I got all the BS aside. Money well spent on this dog.
I know there's been discussion about a vest for the dog, so.
Yeah, there has been discussion about this. Like I said, she's not a patrol dog. When I say patrol dog, I mean an apprehension dog. She won't bite. She's not trained to bite. Will she bite? She's a dog. A dog can bite. But she's not trained to do that. So, like, if we get a call for somebody who's armed suspects and that we're tracking, obviously me and her are vulnerable. She doesn't have this. There was a Gwinnett dog that was just on the news. His leg got amputated where he was shot. By
That's why
an
I
armed
think we're
suspect. So that it is the downfall. But at the same time, that dog was a patrol dog, a bite dog, and it still got shot.
I think I heard about like 12
But it protected the handler. The dog saw the threat, jumped up as the guy was shooting, and the dog got shot. The dog lost his leg in the process, but it saved the handler still alive.
Well, we have a responsibility to take care of her the same as anybody else.
Yeah, she's has
We
no,
have
she has no tooth, but
Do we have a source for a vest for her, and we can get the measurements and all of that?
we can't. I haven't looked into it. I was just blessed to get the dog. I haven't looked at anything else. Anything I needed this April, she bought this anything I needed in this April, I said, show me the way to take care of it.
Well,
But other than that, I haven't asked for anything. You guys have done enough.
Mayor, we did budget, during FY '23 budget, just enough for some care, training, and supplies for the canines specifically. So if Sergeant Russo would like to look at a cost for a vest, for Officer Nora, I think that we can find it in the budget to make sure that she gets one this year.
I think I speak for everyone.
Do they just,
Make it happen as fast as possible. So, I mean, it's like any insurance policy, we wanna protect your investment, so.
We owe it to
So, yeah.
And we had a wonderful luncheon the other day. I'm sorry that you were on vacation, but I'm sure you were having a good meal too.
Well, that was just extra food for us.
Oh, it was so awesome to sit down and break bread with y'all. We appreciate that. Your support is not going unnoticed. These young kids that we have working for us really see and feel your support. And we're just very appreciative that y'all are there with us. And we just wanted Ms. Krause and Ms. Piper to get to see Nora. So there she is.
But we appreciate everything y'all do. All BS aside, there's not a single officer who doesn't ask David to stay over Labor Day to help out. He does like extremely long days taking care of whatever he's taking care of. Y'all know how many hours the chief works and the captain works. And she had to tell us, force officer go home earlier because he wanted to stick around. He didn't even care if he got paid. He was gonna clock out and stick around and help out. But can't do that.
Well, 12 hours is where I catch it. No matter how big they are and how tall and bulletproof they think they are,
Yeah.
they need a rest.
yeah,
And when they get fatigued, that's when they make mistakes. And I've learned that over the years.
Especially
So
on
I
Saturdays.
force them to take care of themselves sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's not a single officer here who wants to stay as many hours as needed.
She's pretty, isn't she?
It's pretty. There should be, a very nice article in this week's newspaper, Fairly Newsjournal, on her beat.
Correct.
So, is there?
I won't wear the paper, but she's
Okay,
there.
all right, she did confirm.
Should be front page.
I think it is. She said it would be a great cover story, so let's just fingers crossed that, our newest officer, K-9, will be front page of the Fairly Newsjournal.
Well, I know that, it takes everybody. I appreciate the council and the mayor's support, with rebuilding our people. From 2.5 years ago to where we are today, it's like night and day. Very appreciative of the work you guys are putting in. And I couldn't be, honestly, any more proud of anything that I've had a hand in accomplishing while I've been on this council. So, thank you, for all the hard work.
We couldn't do it without y'all.
Yeah, I finally heard that the chief took a sick day finally, that he felt comfortable enough with
But
it.
you know he worked on it. He just worked from home.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've also spoken to him a couple of times today. He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
He's always got his finger on the
I'm
pulse.
sure it makes him feel good that it's in good hands, so.
yeah.
So,
Well, that's all we
thank you
have.
again.
Yes, sir. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
It's always good to see y'all. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all be safe.
So at this point, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? And the motion carries.
Sorry, who seconded that motion?
We had a motion.
Lisa.
All right.